Hi lovelies and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to share with you guys where finally a lot of people are reacting to the fact that there is something happening in Sudan and both in Congo, and I was just able to put on some of those stitches. Like, I do not even know why it took so long for people to actually keep coming out. I think it's because of the thing that have been going on the social platform about the anti-blackness. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into
The country of Sudan is going through the worst humanitarian crisis and displacement crisis in recorded history. Over 9 million people have been internally displaced. Now, a lot of people don't notice because international news is not covered in the West as much, but a war had broke out between the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces in April of last year. This resulted in over 7 million people having to flee their homes and take refuge within the country and outside of Sudan. People have been tortured, unalive, women are subjected to as violent. Millions of families are forced to take shelter in makeshift tents, as well as going to neighboring countries to seek refuge. We need to have eyes on Sudan. If you see any donation linked to any organization or individuals that are trying to seek aid or seek refuge or asylum, please donate to them.
Okay, here's the dummies guide for a couple of things going on around the world. Half of Sudan, which is 25 million people, don't have food, water, fuel, or medicine. Out of the 25 million, 14 million of that is children. They are also experiencing the largest displacement in the entire world, with 8 million of those people seeking refuge and not having shelter. You can donate here. Congo is facing one of the longest humanitarian crises in history, with armed forces attacking and killing thousands of innocent civilians, causing families to try to flee, seek shelter in schools, churches, or even camps. Haiti is experiencing deadly gang violence, including lynchings, stonings, mutilation, and people being burned alive. The corruption of the government has basically made law non-existent. Over 5 million Haitians need help. Here's the link that you can donate to each country, and the money that I make from this video, I will match it, split it 3 ways, and donate it to each of those as well. No humanitarian crisis is more important than any other. They all deserve help, they all deserve aid, and they all deserve attention. Anything that you could give, even if it's a $2, is helpful. And even if you can't give aid in a monetary sense, please, this is not your fault. Don't feel guilty. Knowledge is power, and you even knowing a little bit is helping.
The situation in Sudan right now is incomprehensible. It is progressing so fast and so many people are dying. Yesterday, in Jazirah state, in a village called Jazirah, where most of the people are farmers who mind their own business, the UAE-funded RSF interred and massacred over 600 people. Over 600 people. I know it's hard to visualize large numbers like this, but this is what 500 people looks like. Now imagine 100 more added onto that, all in one day, in the span of a couple hours. On top of the people that they massacred, there has been over 134 women who have committed suicide due to the fact that they are witnessing such brutality and due to the fear that they think that they might experience sexual assault. On the topic of sexual assault, during this invasion by the RSF, over 29 confirmed rape cases, with the youngest being 6 years old. 6 years old! On top of the RSF massacring and showing no mercy to anyone, including a family of 3 generations, the grandparents, their children, and those children's children, the grandchildren, they are committing a systematic sexual assault and rape program where women rather kill themselves than have to experience it. This is a genocide. This is ethnic cleansing. This is not just a civil war. We need to really comprehend the fact that this is not just a civil war. This is a war on civilians funded by the UAE for Sudanese gold and resources. According to sources on the ground, they completely wiped out Jazirah. Completely wiped out. There is no one there. It is a ghost town. Jazirah is like my third home in Sudan. I used to go there quite often. Most of my dad's side of the family lives there. We called my cousin yesterday and she picked up the phone just sobbing. We couldn't get anything out of her. She was just sobbing. I don't even know the horror she experienced. I don't even know the horror my family experienced because it's so bad. Telecommunication blackouts also make it so much harder to contact the people who are living in active war zones like this. This is a genocide. This is an ethnic cleansing. Let me repeat. This is a genocide. This is an ethnic cleansing. This is not just a civil war. The UAE must be held accountable for its crimes. The RSF must be held accountable for its crimes. They must be held accountable. And this is one of the most deadliest massacres since April 2023, and Western media is not saying anything about it. Are 600 Sudanese lives really that insignificant that there's not one headlining piece of news that, yo, this Janjaweed militia went into this village filled with farmers who literally mind their own business, who are literally living in poverty for most of them. All they do is farm and mind their own business. Some of the nicest people ever. 600 people of them died, and no one cares. How much longer are we going to continue to fail the Sudanese people? How much longer? Because it's getting too much. It's getting way too much.
I just want everyone to remember that one ummah means one ummah regardless of race, ethnicity, and culture. And the fact that not a lot of people are talking about that there are 8 million displaced people in Sudan. 8 million. Can you conceptualize 8 million? No, but can you conceptualize 20,000 brutally murdered Sudanese? No, you can't, because those are such atrocious numbers. 20,000, actually over 20,000 Sudanese have been brutally murdered. And over 8 million people who want to live life, 8 million who want to just serve Allah, 8 million people who want to raise their children, 8 million people who want to start families, 8 million people who just want to simply exist as beautiful Sudanese people are now displaced, trying to figure out where they're going to go and dodge death. 8 million displaced. Our brothers and sisters in Sudan asking, is it permissible to kill themselves so they do not have to get raped and still make it to Jannah? They're asking, is it permissible so they can dodge rape and still make it to Jannah? One ummah means one ummah regardless if it's black or brown. One ummah also means standing for all injustices regardless of religion. So you not talking about Sudan is atrocious within itself, but not talking about Congo, Haiti, Yemen, and every single country, Ethiopia, the Tigray people, the Amhara people, the Oromo people, because if you really think about it, there are Muslims within all cultures. But regardless if they're Muslim or not, it is our duty to speak up for them, regardless if they're Muslim. And us not speaking enough about Sudan is atrocious. It is easy to do your due diligence and go learn about Sudan and make videos as much as it is for Palestine. But a lot of us are relying on the videos of Palestine, and because we don't get videos from Sudan, we wipe our hands of it. And that we will have to answer to Allah for. Remember that.
Who, what, when, how, and why? Since the last video I made about Sudan blew up, I've gotten a lot of questions about people who are trying to understand the war better. So I'm going to give you guys a crash course on this war. It's the last time I'm doing this because I've given quite a few, but just because I'm sure I've got a lot more followers to do that video, I'm just going to do this one more time. The question I got the most was, who is the RSF and what do they want? The RSF started off as a tribal militia formed by the former dictator Omar al-Bashir to commit genocide in Darfur in 2003. It has then surpassed that and become a mercenary-filled militia that has been funded and protected by the UAE. So its roots are actually already genocidal and tribal. They were created just to commit genocide. They were formerly known as the Janjaweed. They have gained more and more legitimacy over time due to the EU, USA, UK, and of course the UAE. Oh, as well as Israel. So long story short, the RSF is a tribal militia that started off to commit genocide by former dictator Omar al-Bashir, which has now been co-opted and bought by the UAE, which has then bought and recruited thousands of mercenary fighters all over Africa, Chad, Central Africa, Nigeria. You know, it spans from all across the Sahel region, who have been doing their bidding for them. What does the RSF want? What they really want is power, technically, but currently they're being controlled by the UAE, so the power that they are getting is actually going to the UAE, which wants to build the Emirates in Sudan, and wants access to the Red Sea and wants access to our plethora of gold and other resources. They don't really have an objective other than power and other than greed and money, and they're recruiting thousands of child soldiers and manipulating them to be a part of their mercenary group. Second question, which I already addressed a little bit, is what does the UAE want from this? And as I said, they want access to our Red Sea, to our resources. The UAE is known for its gold, but has no gold mines. 85% of Africa's gold is smuggled into the UAE, with 90% of Sudan's gold being smuggled to the UAE. The UAE has been using a front of building hospitals, sending aid, when really they're actually just sending weapons to the RSF. They built a hospital in Chad for Sudanese refugees. This makes no sense because build it in Sudan, you know what I mean, if you're really that helpful. But realistically, Sudanese people can't get into that hospital. There's no roads that lead to it. It's really just a front to send weapons and continue sending planes and crates filled with weapons. Why did this war start? So after 2019, the Sudanese people, who have successfully pushed out former dictator Omar al-Bashir, wanted to switch over to civilian-led government. The RSF then came out and wanted to establish their own legitimacy and be the ones controlling Sudan. Of course, the Sudanese military was like, hell no, you're not doing that. And they also did not want to switch over to civilian-led rule. Since then, they have been fighting. Since then, there's different international factors who have been coming into this war, placing their bidding, doing their bets, picking sides to see which they can get more money out of. And since April 2023, there has been over 300,000 Sudanese people who have died just from warfare-related causes only. 300,000 from warfare-related causes, and probably hundreds of thousands more, or even millions from starvation and other war-related things that come with it, starvation, illness, a lot of suicides happening as well. How does this war end? Who do we root for? Who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys? Root for the Sudanese people. Pray for the Sudanese people. Stand with the Sudanese people, because they are the people who are most affected, the civilians. Not the SAF, not the RSF, but the Sudanese people. We pray that the RSF is held accountable for their crimes. We pray that the UAE is held accountable for aiding and abetting these crimes. And we pray that Sudanese people can actually transfer to a civilian-led government, because we have seen that a military-led government has caused us to be in this position right now. Unfortunately, the SAF has not been doing a good job at protecting us. A lot of questions I've also got was, where's the army? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Ask them, bro. I do not know where the army is. A couple weeks ago, they took over a lot of places in Khartoum that were formerly under RSF rule, and we were happy, like they're making strides now, but it kind of just died down. I don't know if it was performative. I don't know the reason for that, but we obviously seen that they were capable of doing that. So I don't know. Right now, we keep the pressure up on the UAE. We need the UAE to stop funding the RSF, because as soon as they stop funding the RSF, they will cease to exist. They have not that much external support. They're not a real military. They're just a mercenary militia, right? So what we do is put pressure on the UAE, and the UAE is feeling pressure right now. I think I've answered most of these questions, but yeah, this is just an brief understanding of it. There's so much more videos. I have my own videos. Go through my account. I also have For Sudanese Liberation on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter or X, whatever. This is not Gaida. It's in my bio as well. I have a lot of sources. There's a lot of Sudanese people talking about it. I'm kind of just tired of answering the same questions over and over, because that information is out there. You just need to put in a little more effort to find it. But I made this video for y'all, so you can watch it and be like, okay, now I guess I understand. Thank you for giving us the time to explain this again. But yeah.
One of the reasons that hundreds of people in Sudan were just massacred in a genocide, and we aren't hearing about it as quickly or as much in Western media outlets or even global news outlets, besides the fact that violence has become normalized and expected in this region due to colonization and plundering of natural resources is that people have been in a telecoms blackout for months. Like, it was shut down months ago, and the infrastructure is different and less accessible because, you know, the RSF likely turn off their telecoms, and they also aren't able to use eSIMs like the people in Palestine, which is a smaller region, which is closer to other countries with better infrastructure. And also there's less access to phones in a lot of these smaller villages, because remember that the RSF and the army aren't just attacking like the full-blown cities. They're also a lot of the time massacring these small villages for no reason. Again, like, they massacred these people in these villages as payback. And so this is the reason why you should be following accounts that have people on the ground, who are in communication with people on the ground, because it is extremely hard to get information out, to get any it's just really hard to get information out because of this telecoms blackout. There are a ton of accounts that you can follow on Instagram, but I will tag some here in the caption. And if you know any accounts, please tag them below. But again, Khartoum Kitchen and Mutual Aim are in the link in my bio.
Hundreds of people were just massacred in Sudan, and Western media outlets are either not covering it or they're saying it was just dozens of people. And the reason why the RSF just wiped out hundreds of people, looted homes, raped tons of women and children, including someone at the age of 6, is because one of the top commanders of the RSF defected recently, and he was from the Jazirah state, and the RSF went to that area and murdered hundreds of civilians as payback. And people on the ground are saying that women are committing to get away from this, and rape is used as a weapon of war here. So many people have been raped, so many people have been killed. An entire village has been wiped out. And remember that the RSF is backed by the UAE so that they can keep this region destabilized, so that they can loot Sudan for its natural resources. It's almost impossible to get aid in, and there are so little resources, and organizations are running out of funding. I have a couple links in my bio if you would like to donate to the Khartoum Kitchen or Mutual Aim. They are both raising funds to deliver aid and food to the people of Sudan. This is just a continuation of the Darfur genocide.
Hi. Over the last week or so, the RSF rampage on the Jazirah state, which is still ongoing now on day 12, has gotten a lot more eyes on Sudan, which great and horrible at the same time. But I've noticed a lot of people in the comments at a loss for what to do. This is awful. What do we do? How do we help? Where do we donate? I'm here to help with that. So here are 3 Sudanese-led initiatives that you can support today and make a life-saving impact. Let's start with the obvious Jazirah state. 120,000 people estimated displaced in the last 10 days alone. Millions of people without food, without shelter, without health care, and being attacked incessantly. This initiative aims to support 300,000 people in Jazirah state. You can click the link up here. It will take you to the campaign where you can read more about it. Initiative number 2, you've heard me mention a lot on my page, Saving a Janina, otherwise known as Hope and Haven. They support community kitchens in several states across Sudan, as well as over 150,000 refugees in eastern Chad. Please click the link, go read more about what they do, and support. And last, but certainly not least, HRRDS, which I should be talking way more about. An indigenous organization operating in the Nuba Mountains area of South Kordofan. Originally, they work in rehabilitation and support for people with disabilities. But now, with the war, with the famine ravaging Sudan and the Nuba Mountains area in specific, they have now taken on the added responsibility of feeding people. Please, click the link, go check out what they do, support. I lied. I have a 4th initiative for you. Now, you may or may not know that over 3 million Sudanese people have been forced out of their homes and out of the country entirely in the last 18 months of war. Youth Smile Initiative has their Sudan Refugee Project, which aims to support 40,000 Sudanese refugees currently living in Kiriandango Refugee Camp in northern Uganda. Click the link, check out what they do, support. I just realized I keep saying click the link, but this is a video, you can't click the link. So this is what I'll do. With the exception of the campaign for Jazirah State, every other initiative I talked about has their own social media presence. I will add them as collaborators to this video. You can click on their pages, check out what they do, and do what? Support.
I seriously love the fact that both Sudan and Congo has actually been on JOC. Like, they have been on JOC long before, like way long before that of Pow. And the thing is that no one is actually talking about it, advocating about it, just the way at which the media is, all out for power. And no one is there to be out for, Congo, Sudan. Like, this is actually the first time I'm putting on something here that has to do with, Sudan. I think I have done multiples of Congo and trying to, try my own best. But this is the first time that I actually saw the one of Sudan. I don't even know that something like this has really been in existence, and a lot of people are just so concerned about pain. I am not disputing the fact that what is happening in Pal is justifiable. No, never. It is so it's so wrong. That is so wrong. This is just out of inhuman. But the thing is that the same thing is also happening in Kong. It's happening in Sudan. The same thing is happening in Pau, like, and every other one that I am not even aware of. I just found out about this yesterday because I was just going through my For You page. I came across Sudan. I was like, Sudan is also going through this, as well as Congo, as well as Pau, like the same fate, like, and the media is not even doing justice to it. The media is not even saying anything about it. Even the upcoming election that, keep on talking about power, people, power. Nobody is actually bringing up, Congo or Sudan. Like, at least if they want to talk about all of the Gen OC, they should be able to talk about all of the Gen OC. They should be able to talk about, oh, we are so sorry about, okay, we need to talk about what is happening in Pals, Congo, Sudan, and all of the Gen OC inclusive, not trying to make one special and not the other one because maybe the people there are not important or what. Or maybe the people there does not really need any form of help. Like, seriously, just look at what is happening over there. Just look at the fact that, oh my goodness, this is just the same thing that is happening in Pau, and people that looks like me, with all of their platforms, they use it. A lot of people will have to lose their platforms, all because they make it as something, upon themselves. They took it upon themselves to actually speak, use a platform, which they even have to undergo so many things. And later on, with all of the things that people like me have done, some people from PAL decided to come to say that, people that look like me do not really care. But these same people actually left what is in their own eyes. They have things in their own eyes. They say that you have to actually remove what is in your eyes before removing that of another person. But no, these people decided to leave what is in their own eyes while removing what is in your own eyes, but you still do not appreciate their effort. And now I like the fact that people are beginning to talk more about it. I think it actually takes the controversy with anti-blackness and all of that happened between the people of power and black people and all of that actually made people to start, okay, let's also talk about what is happening in Congo and in Sudan. Because even the ones that we are also helping to advocate for, they say that we are not doing enough. We don't care about how you feel. We don't care about if you are oppressed or not. You need to keep on helping us. Like, who even does that? Like, why would you keep blaming people that is facing the same fate as you? Which I keep on saying that I do not support any of these things that is going on. Even the one in Pau, Sudan, and Congo. But the fact that it's as if some is more important, while the other one is less important, is the one that I'm so concerned about. It's the fact that all of the, treating one case special and the other one not special. I have seen so many, you know, stages of some pale people, some non-pale people talking about how, oh, there is a need for these people to support. If there is nothing done for people of power and all of that, nobody should vote for this person, nobody should come up with this. But who is talking about if nothing should be done about what is happening in Congo or in Sudan? Nobody should do this. Who is even talking about that? Who should we blame about, what is happening? But because some group of people are decided to blame, people that look like me, for what is happening in power or for not doing their best. So whom are we now going to blame on neglecting the ones that is happening in Sudan and also in Congo? Who are we going to blame this time? A lot of people are just too quick to blame people, abortion blames, and oh, you are the reason why this is happening here. Who is not the reason why the other ones is happening over there? And why are they not taking? Why is it that measures are not being taken? The palliatives that are being sent, they should also send to these other people. This is just what we are talking about. People that looks like me keep on helping people, keep on using their voices, even if they are oppressed. But in that being oppressed, they are still trying their best to do something for other POC people. But in times of, POC people coming out to also speak about people that looks like me, it is all about stories. You guys go sort yourself. You guys should just go sort yourself. Even me as a black lady, I don't even know about, I don't know about Congo. But I don't even know that Sudan is as bad as it is. Seriously. And I keep on like, where is the media about these people? Because it was just because the media is not even talking about it, not covering it. That is why people like me, people at like my own type of people don't even really know that it is. I was thinking it's just normal, but this is just so extreme that women are being forced. Look at the way they are living. Like, you have to see so many of these videos I saw on my For You on TikTok. But it's just that I can't put all of those things here. You know how it is on this platform. These people need help. They really need help. Even if you can help, then talk so that it will get to the government, it will get to the upper people that can actually help. Even those people that is helping people of power, they can actually extend that help to people of Congo and also Sudan. They can extend the help down there too. Like, seriously, it's so sad that people like me need to work their way up, even if they are the most oppressed, but they will still work their way up. No one is supporting them. No one is trying to help them because you have a ton, and it's so bad at this point. It's so disappointing that the same people that will use all of their strength to fight for you, to stand by you, to speak out for you, but during their own turn for people to help them, even if look at how poorly they live, but no one is there to talk for them, speak for them, stand by them, donate some palliatives as well. But if you talk, they will tell you that, oh my God, forget about your suffering and just keep on supporting us. We don't care about what you face. We don't care about you being oppressed. We're just done with that. No, let's call a spade a spade. If everyone is not freed, right? No one is free. Everyone needs to be freed for everyone to be freed. Seriously. Anyway, lovelies, leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Subscribe to this channel. If you're here to do that, share your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next
Up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We just here to educate, and inform ourselves. All right, lovelies, please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.